What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 Terra AI only battle. What was I going to say? I was going to start with, we've got some suggestions for continent names. I just want to check, do we only get... I think we only got one set, so sorry if I missed those. So I'm going to read those out now. They are from Keith, so thank you, Keith. I haven't actually read the... well, I saw the comment. I haven't fully read it. We just had to sit down and make the episode. But that makes it all more exciting, and... I'm trusting you, Keith, but it could be risky. You never know. What am I going to get tricked into saying? But I'm sure it's fine. So, Far Eastern continent, which I'm assuming is this big one. So, which also seems to have more cities on it than I remember. But a few settlers here. This one's been suggested as... I'm probably going to... oh, no, there's... oh, you've put pronunciations too. You're amazing. Okay. Mitara, but spelt Mithara. Because of the massive desert and an Arabic sounding tonal play on the word for the fantasy mineral or metal of mithril, denoted as a material comparable to or even harder than iron or steel, yet more malleable and lightweight. They're amazing. There you go. Love that. Love the detail. And I get what you mean. There's a lot of desert and grasslands. I mean, obviously if I go to the top there's tundra, but yeah, there's a big desert here, there's one up north, so I like that. So that's Mitara. There we go. Unless there was another suggestion, I've missed it. We'll go with these. The bottom half of the continent... oh, sorry, my phone was leaned against the mic and it fell. Sorry if that made a noise. Bottom half of the continent of... with the 5 city-states before the narrow mountain pass to the 1 o'clock of the lake. Oh, I think, is that suggesting... is that this one? I'm getting lost. Is that this one or this one? It said Far East. Or is that saying this side? Sorry. With 5... there's not 5 city-states here, so... I'm assuming that means this one then. Maybe the map's moved. I'm guessing then that north one was Mitara. Unless that was these two. No, I think that was the north. Okay, I think that was this one. And then down here's a separate one, right? Bottom half of the continent. Would be... oh, I think that was the name as well. Sorry, maybe I'm getting that wrong. Maybe that might be all of these names. I think it was saying at least for this part, if not all of it. But no one else suggested anything, I don't think, so we'll do all of it. And then the lake will be Munilra, a combination of Mo from Morocco and Nil from Vilnius and Ra from the above continent name based off the desert. Oh. Yep, that word. Which lake? I'm getting so confused. I'm just terrible. It's hard enough doing, like, the world map can be confusing for geography. Well, Vilnius is here, so I'm assuming that's this lake. So there we go. We've got a name for this one, so that's good. I don't think, unless there's some longer comments that I haven't. Sorry, I haven't been going through them as much. I've been a bit busy with work. I've just been like getting episodes recorded, putting them out, and then like going to bed. Like that's been it the last few days. So I apologise on that, and I will get to them as soon as possible. Probably on the day you're seeing this, I may have hopefully found some time to do that. But yeah, we will continue the episode then. So that was pretty cool. I've already forgotten the names. So it's Mitara, is that right? Mitara? I may have got that wrong already. And Morilna, it's the lake. Mitara, the rest of it. We didn't get one for the main one, but it doesn't matter too much, does it? But there you go. It's always a bit of fun, a little bit of a fantasy challenge that people enjoy. And now we'll continue with the action. Which, what the heck, Poland? When did you settle down there? But apart from that, I think I'm going to open the war menu just to check because it's not particularly visible. Obviously, Mongolia, Ethiopia is ongoing, or was ongoing. Yeah, it's still ongoing. But I haven't done an episode 4 since the weekend, so I'm going to check, and that'll probably help for everybody if I do that. So there's a war between China and Poland. Yep, we knew about that. Mongolia is at war with Siam and Ethiopia. I did not know they were at war with Siam, but there you go. And that's all the wars. Okay, so it's Mongolia v Siam and Ethiopia, and then China up against Poland. But China v Poland, I don't think we'll see anything else. Maybe China grabs this city here just because, yeah, probably not the best of choices from Poland. Genghis completes Broadway for Mongolia, who are, I think, probably the runaway #1, at least at the moment, based on how things are going. We're going to sort of try and stay off the info addicts. We'll probably have a look at like turn 300, but we're not going to do it at 250 because that's only 7 turns away. I don't particularly want to do it right now. Let's just let the action play out in front of us. Also, I don't want to spoil it, you know, it's not particularly fun if we find out Mongolia is just miles ahead. So let's live in denial, potentially, of that one, and see if the other civs can put up some sort of team effort. I feel like they still could. I think Poland is certainly capable with like one successful war against one of their bigger neighbours. I mean, obviously it's not going to be easy, but if they can do some damage to a Rome or a Siam, then there's still a chance. Right, Egypt and China, and that's really bad, unlucky for China, because their troops were here attacking Poland, but that means Egypt kind of got to feast on a few of them there before China even got to respond. They lose a few units, and these units might get cut off and sort of encircled and killed pretty quickly, but I hope maybe they'll have a chance of surviving. Rome now has planes, so that's someone else with planes, and a couple more settlers down here. Ethiopia is continuing to come under some pressure as well as things stand. What else is going on? Poland not doing too much at the moment. Up here it's mostly, yeah, it's all Mongolia's territory up in the northern islands. Bit more divided on the bigger islands. Rome have added another city. Poland have not yet put those down, but they have 3 settlers, so yeah, that could still have an impact. Egypt is also grabbing territory. Poland with more settlers. I think Siam is now the only one who's not really left. Right, everyone else, oh, that's not true. Ethiopia and China have also not left. I don't know what I was saying there. But yeah, I mean, Siam, out of the 5 that are probably competing still for a good finish in this game, Siam is the one who has not yet got any of those new cities, and that will hinder them, you know, over time. Egypt will be benefiting here, whether it be resources or just extra science or production, whatever it might be. Luxuries, strategic resources. It doesn't really help for science because it ups the tech cost, but I guess if you settle in the rainforest, for example, that might help. If you get the right buildings, might help out for Poland. It's a balance. I feel like the deity AI can cope with some of this stuff better than, you know, the normal level. Another Roman city down here, so they're going ham with their settlers. There's Lake Victoria here as well in the desert. If someone was to want to, if you settle between sort of these floodplains and Lake Victoria and then the main lake somewhere, I don't know where the ideal spot is. It probably isn't one. There's wheat here as well, but it's not looking too good. I mean, if you settled, I don't know, probably want to go somewhere like here, and then just, if you settled here really early, the city would be huge. You'd get all these floodplains, you'd farm them, you'd have Lake Victoria, you'd have the coast and tiles and stuff from the lake, and overall I think that would give you probably the biggest city you could get out of a desert. That would not be the worst setup, shall we say. Yeah, Egypt just completely saved that Polish city. I thought that might have been in trouble, but China's been driven back. May even give Poland a second chance to just sneak in and steal something away. Poland now beginning to build their own air force, but Mongolia has anti-air guns, so they are prepared in case anything breaks out. Just trying to look around. There's some aggressive citadels here. I feel like that was done a lot earlier, but still, yeah, that's leaving Rotterdam pretty exposed here. Completely surrounded, and Kumai to some extent. They could put all their units in here and attack, and that would be pretty devastating from that pocket. And then this city's fairly out and open and exposed. Panama City's now on the Mongolia border. Yeah, that may go badly, but Ethiopia is digging in the corner of the map, and so far their tundra corner, their original corner, is remaining pretty safe. They're keeping the Mongolians out, doing a good job down here, not really under any threat of losing a unit just yet, or losing a city I should say. Harar takes a bit of damage. Egypt continuing to push against China. So we hit turn 250. Oh, it's going to give us a list, isn't it? I wonder what one we'll get. Yeah, Guangzhou could be under threat here. Egypt beginning to move in, beginning to do damage. They're actually on sort of equal levels of tech, so that's interesting. Although Egypt does have some planes backing them up from behind, but in the land units, they're at the same level. Riflemen, cannons. Should we look at the demographics at least? Oh, that paints a good picture. Mongolia winning all of them. Maybe we shouldn't have looked. But never mind, it's all a fun game. There's still plenty to be decided between the other civs outside of what Mongolia is up to before this is all over. Kiev has now declared war on China. I have no idea where Kiev is on this map. I'm guessing it's probably near Egypt, somewhere in the new land. I mean, I'm not seeing it, but probably out here somewhere. Poland completes the Eiffel Tower. I don't see Kiev. Is that not up here? Oh, it's up here. There you go. They are at war now. There's still an ancient ruins here. No one's gone after that yet. It's there. It might be gone, and it might just not have loaded in that it's gone. But there's also a lack of scouts. Although Mongolia, you'd have thought would have got it by now. I mean, surely they've found it. Maybe they've just never explored there, but you never know. They have 4 more settlers arriving on this northern continent, so that's going to secure that for them. So yeah, it's really up to the other civs to make the most of this other one. And there's still tons of territory, absolutely loads, out here for them to go and embark on getting for themselves. Like I said, it looks like Mongolia is not too interested, although they have sent a big navy out this way. Malacca has a new ally and then declared war on China. So Egypt obviously trying their best to get some more allies. And look at this Mongolian army. It is huge, and Rome has granted them open borders to help them against Ethiopia. I feel like that's a bit of a mercy. Like, if we give you open borders, don't attack me. And it's going to probably backfire horribly for Rome in the long term. Well, you know, eventually it's going to happen. They have to be ready, Rome. They need to be up in their defences. They have a ton of artillery, which could be a good move to slow them down from a distance. And, you know, you get that infantry in the front row and have this artillery from behind chipping away, doing damage. Could be the way to go. We'll find out. I'm sure we will see it, you know, within the next 100, 150 turns probably. As Egypt closes in on Guangzhou. That's a big city from China, and will certainly be one that Egypt wants. I think Beijing is still probably the crown jewel that if Egypt were to go down there, because they built a lot of wonders in Beijing. It's at 30 pop. That would be a very nice city. I'm sure a lot of civs, not just Egypt, have their eyes on that. I'm sure Rome would like it as well, and even Poland if they could get there. So we'll see how that works out for them. But yeah, Egypt should take this turn, and then we'll see if they push around these mountains to Shanghai or Beijing. They definitely could. I think they have the numbers, and with that little bit of air support as well, it should be possible. They now have 8 planes. They all mix. There's 1 triplane, but 7 great war bombers, which should enable them to siege down the city pretty easily. So they just need to get close enough for long enough. And here is Egypt's turn. Will they get it this turn? Probably not, because I don't think any of their melee units can, but they'll certainly put it in the red, I imagine, and get that little bit closer. Oh, nothing left. But yeah, that Lancer, assuming it survives China's turn, which is not guaranteed, because 4 cannons and Guangzhou will probably be bombarding it. So yeah, probably not going to survive, but we'll see. Unless China... Yeah, no, China still go before Egypt in the next turn. Mongolia putting down a lot of those settlers, just increasing their territory. Yeah, that Lancer died, so they need a unit this side of the river, ideally, if they want to take this. I don't think they'll get it this turn for that reason. Never mind, the Lancer came through, got the job done, covered more distance. So Guangzhou falls to Egypt. So China now just down to 2 remaining cities, Beijing and Shanghai. I think, as I said, Beijing is probably the best individual city in the world. It is 2 population ahead of Mongolia's capital, and we saw them get a lot of wonders. I mean, Mongolia probably has a lot too. but still, Beijing, pretty desirable, I'd say. Ethiopia continuing to sort of forward settle towards China, and China actually retakes their city. So there we go, but I'm sure it'll probably fall back to Egypt before this turn is through. Poland now starting to stack a lot of units in this region, which I'm not sure what that means. Navy will not help them against Siam, at least on the inside of this lake, and that's where most of Poland's naval power is. They do have some stuff on the outside, but not as much. Egypt does retake that, and Mongolia is going after Siam here. They're using their bombers, but Siam doesn't really have much to defend with. There are more scouts and aircraft carriers and different things heading out across the world. The ocean's starting to become much more populated with ships. Poland, oh, they did settle. Yeah, they did settle. I was like, where'd those settlers go? But it must have been these ones, and they're just growing at a pretty quick rate. This one as well should find a spot, and then there's, oh, maybe these are the new ones. Either way, plenty of land being taken here. Rome's borders will continue to grow as well. Mongolia is trying to attack Sofia there. Guangzhou, yeah, it should stay with Egypt now, I think. Just looking at it, I think they've done enough for now, at least, to keep hold of that. Next turn. Mongolia. Will they? I reckon they might get this. I don't know. Siam's got some defense, but that submarine will be helping. Certainly doing some damage, trying to sink some units. They pushed the submarine out. I don't know if that was a wise move, because I guess it survives, but you've kept the planes there then, and the cavalry. I don't know. It's a high defense, but you didn't kill the ironclad either, so kind of rough. I mean, they only need to kill both those ironclads. The frigate is not really an issue in the short term, so I think they can possibly scrape through. Maybe not. It depends if this frigate's got enough, right? The other one shouldn't be able to come around. Mongolia completes the Manhattan Project. There you go, establishing their dominance. I mean, as we found in the last game, assuming the other civs can continue to compete in other aspects, they might just survive. Mongolia didn't attack the city, so Siam should be okay. If they sink this ironclad, they need to do that though. And they did. They sunk both. That's excellent. They also produced another submarine just in time, so they've saved their city here. That's good. Obviously, they're probably going to come in waves. I don't know if there's any. Yeah, this navy's going to come over, probably have another go in a few turns. Having an aircraft carrier could be useful here, actually. This is one of the few. It's very rarely employed in the AI games that successfully, but you could definitely. This is where Mongolia could use one. Bring it over, use the planes against Siam. Could certainly help them. Yeah, that Manhattan Project's going to be an issue. This city has grown to 3 pop already. Did not take long. It wasn't there last time we looked over here, and they're probably going to get another. If they go for this island, add that to their new territory. Rome now, yeah, because there's no war there, you can see they're starting to fill with a lot of units. Rome now has a ton of artillery. They seem to only be building artillery. I don't know what the plan is for this, but it's quite interesting. There's hardly any Great War infantry in there. I saw one, and now I can't even find it again. There's an infantry there. That's about it. There's just tons of artillery. So we'll see. And then at some point... Oh, there was a peace deal. And hurrah. Has fallen to Mongolia. So that just... Oh, and Axum as well. And this one. And this one. Oh my goodness. Ethiopia sold their soul to survive. So Mongolia just took 6 cities in one go. That may hurt them a bit. But there we go. Ethiopia is now down in Addis Ababa. That is wild. I did not expect them to give up 6 cities in one peace deal. That is... Okay. Fair enough. They didn't seem like they were under that much threat. I guess info addicts might tell us that, you know, Mongolia probably outnumbers them like 10 to 1 or something ridiculous. So from that perspective, it makes sense. But yeah, they were doing okay. I don't think I've ever seen one that bad, because they gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in one go. I don't think I've ever seen one with that many. Surely they didn't have to give all that away. And this one, so 7. Oh my goodness. Of course, that is not... Yeah, I don't think Ethiopia was going to pull off a comeback or anything, but that does mean that Rome is probably now going to have to be extra vigilant, extra ready, keep spamming out these artilleries, because I think it might be coming. You might be next. I mean, it could be Poland, but it could be you as well. And obviously, it also frees up more Mongolian units to go after Siam, so they will have to be particularly careful as well as we continue onwards with the turns. Let's see, now we've got no active wars, right? It's just, well, Siam v Mongolia is the only one. Poland now completes the Manhattan. That was not too far behind, right? That was maybe 4 or 5 turns. So they're at least maintaining. I have noticed Rome as well. They had infantry that's sort of on a par with Mongolia. I know they have anti-air guns and probably better naval capabilities. They really lack. Oh my! They've done it too. See, they've spammed all these boats that will probably there will probably never be a battle in the vicinity of this lake ever again. Maybe for Rotterdam, for a few turns, but like. Just spammed it with all this stuff that they did not need. China may retake Chengdu, but Egypt may also... I'd say they've got it down low. I guess that's from the plains, but they are looking a bit thin on units. Egypt may have a chance of getting Shanghai, and then obviously that just leaves Beijing, and at that point anything could happen. Mongolia already putting 6 planes down here just to insert their influence on some of these other civs. But yeah, I reckon Shanghai could go. And maybe China gets Chengdu back as well if Poland is not ready to defend this. We'll see what they do. It's Egypt's turn right now. China have already been, I think, so they did not have the most successful of turns. Yeah, they didn't really get closer to taking it that turn. I think they moved some of their planes. Yeah, okay, no, yeah, they moved 2 down here. They still have 8 overall. Thought they might have lost 1, but they have not. Poland picks off another unit. This is going to be really difficult with 3 infantry units. It's not going to be enough. They need to send more artillery over if they're going to do this. This citadel, was it 4 all the time? It was 2 and then it was 3 and now it's 4, I think. That is that's so wild that they've just gone for this particular spot. I mean, surely you'd think it'd be better to like do it maybe horizontally. I know, surely it's better value. I don't know, maybe not, but maybe if there's no resources here, like I see some silver, but that's some truffles that they've probably taken. But overall, like I feel like it would have been more beneficial to maybe go long ways or spread those out instead of just putting them all in one spot. I mean, all you'd have to do is when you're at war, take like this city, maybe this one, and you'd have had that land anyway. Some slightly weird choices. Sorry, I think I was supposed to click next turn there for quite a while, and I hadn't. We'll see then. Are these 2 cities probably the only 2 I think under any real threat at the moment? As Mongolia completes the Christo Redentor wonder, giving them some more bonuses. Egypt's turn. Have they got it? Have they got this? I don't think China will take Chengdu. They are getting there. It's in the red. That Lancer is in the water. There's also a cavalry in the water. See how China responds to that. This privateer could go and sort of block them off, and the artillery could also do some damage, but you have to think one of them has a chance of getting the job done. There's also a Lancer or a Knight, sorry, in the south. There's so many manufactories here. China must be a production haven. Oh no, sorry, I'm getting confused with Ethiopia city over here. Yeah, China, not quite a production haven, but Pretty good still. I mean, 4 manufactories is probably about the same as 9 mines. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go do the math. But it's pretty good still. China, all this artillery just clinging on to survival in this game. For now, at least. Siam now into the atomic era. So yeah, we saw Poland get that Manhattan project not too far behind Mongolia. Wouldn't be surprised if Mongolia has a nuke already. I say that Mongolia has no planes. They did earlier. Where have you? Oh, they put them all down in the south, didn't they? They only have those 6, I think. I say 6, 12, 15. This 15 is probably all they have, and then there's some probably on carriers around the map. But okay, they're not exactly like crazy. But that is going to be it for this episode. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.